How's everyone?
Tired.
Tired. What's been happening?
Well, yesterday I did the farmers market with Elon, and then I threw a housewarming party after.
Oh,
Fantastic. You look fabulous.
Thank you. It
that's
was
so good.
I
success.
didn't see the housewarming party.
I just posted it.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
We're not as fast.
I saw your
Okay,
one
good.
video where you were kind of like in fast motion, like zipping all over the place.
Oh yeah. Those are fun. Here's
Oh
It's
wow.
a housewarming party.
Cool.
Is it the $1 million client one? I was like, that's a different caliber. Go girl.
yeah, I know. I
Mhm.
spent more money on it and I was like nervous.
No, don't be nervous. Those money is worthwhile.
I
It
know.
comes
Trust
back
us.
to you. It comes back to you.
I know these two guys here.
Yeah.
They are the neighbors and they already knew about me and they came and approached me after and they were like, we want our friends to work with you. We didn't like our realtor. You're amazing. And
Yay.
This is your signature. Your housewarming.
I didn't even know, like they came up to me. So they already were convinced. I didn't have to say a word.
Be alien.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They would have seen you on your video.
You
seen
are
you.
truly on fire, honey.
No, they
Yeah.
didn't see me on the video. Just the
Just
clients
what
that
the
I
buyer
helped
said?
told them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She got advocate already. Brilliant.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is the best advertising.
It's the best. And remember,
Yeah.
I told you where's your signature on those, Potter Play bot, you have to stamp your name there. So every time they use it, they see your name. It's like, remember. And when they serve their guests, Alicia is da 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 da. So you have to remind them.
Yeah.
So it will be, So
You
those
know,
money are well worth it.
Do you know, I worked for a company I'd never even heard of, and they were around for 32 years. Okay. And I know most companies in security, but they were
Uh-huh.
32 years. And
Mm.
they got their business through word of mouth. They didn't even market. All right. They had a website that was absolute shit. So when I started working for them, I worked under the radar. So nobody knew where I was and what I did until I started winning jobs.
Wow.
Right? So that's there. And that's how they built their reputation
Yep.
into the
beautiful.
commercial sphere. But yeah, what you've got is fantastic, honey. And remember
Yeah.
the conversation you had last week. You know, what are you going to do? You've only got 6, but hey, you've got another 5 months in this year where you could get another 6 before you finish, and you just got another one.
Well, yeah, I mean, nothing is there yet. It's just a seed was planted.
Yeah, but it's
for
Blame it,
their-
Alicia. It's
It's
like it's not
there.
yet. It's like it's there, and this
Yeah.
client will move faster than other 400K client. The 1 mil client, this is like really the extra that they can use to invest, and because it's rental, right? It's investment, so it's totally different space.
just
What do you mean
accept it.
grateful?
Yeah. But anyway,
Okay, Anna, I'll accept.
Yeah.
accept.
Good
I said
girl.
it. We'll talk about this later. It's like a lot. Katrina, unmute yourself. We're talking about behind your back just now. How are you doing?
Hi everyone. Well, I've been better. It's been a very traumatic weekend.
I know. We know. We
Mm.
were. Oh. Would you like to have a bit of see the light, as Anna said? See the light. See the light.
Mm.
I'll leave it to you. What you would like to share, what you might not want to share. It's up to you.
Well, my dog killed my cat. So this is the dog that killed the chickens. Been working with her, and I thought she was just fixated on chickens, which a lot of dogs are. But she actually grew up with this cat, and I've got photos of them laying on the couch together. So they were friends. And my cat was in the front yard, then jumped in the backyard, which she does and has done many, many times. And then she just walks to the back door because she gets on with the dogs. And it's never been a bother. I thankfully didn't see it, but Adrian did. I just saw the after effects, and apparently the cat Willow jumped in the backyard, and Casey just grabbed her and mauled her, and then the other two dogs joined in. But Adrian got out there before, like he literally said he got out there, and each dog had an end of the cat ready to do the. And he grabbed her and raced her inside. And I knew it wasn't good, but I was hoping, because I didn't see the extent of the attack, I was hoping she'd still survive. So I just popped her in a towel and rang the vets, and we, kept talking to her and popped in the car to head to the vets, and she passed in my arms on the way. We didn't get far from home. So now that's left me with a very difficult decision about the dog, because I can't trust her now. She's something's flipped in her head. Yeah, so
Okay, we're with you. We feel you.
I don't know. I'm sorry. That's so
I know, don't
sad.
worry. I feel very, it's sad. It's very
Yes.
sad.
Just know we're thinking of you, and we
Mm.
got you in our hearts.
And Adrian's basically made his mind up that Casey needs to be euthanized because she can't be trusted. He said, I can't have her being rehomed on his conscience in case
Yeah.
she goes nuts and it's a child.
Yeah.
And I watched her yesterday, and for the first time ever, there was a woman with a baby and a dog walking past. And she was running from side to side, barking, as they all were. But the first time ever, I was thinking, oh my God, what if she manages to get over the 6-foot fence? So she's been raised exactly the same way as all the other dogs. She's had training, she's had obedience.
Yeah.
Remember, honey, we spoke about this.
I know, there's
Yeah,
just
yeah. And
something's flicked in her head.
that's right. So yesterday, the first time had a baby with a woman coming past. First time after all this has happened, that would tell me that's a sign that you've got to consider.
Yeah, and that's all I was thinking is, oh my God, she's never shown aggression to people, but she's never showed aggression to the cats before either.
She's bigger than you.
Yeah, she is. She's a very big dog. She's a Dane Cross. So if she went, she's very capable of causing a lot of damage. So
Yeah. And we're glad that Adrian is with you and was
Well,
with you as well.
yes, thankfully he was, he was home. I was just about ready to head to work. So thank goodness it happened. Well, not thank goodness it happened, but the timing.
Yeah.
At least I
Yeah.
was home for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, all our phone is on, so anytime call any of us, even Alicia and Christine in the 2 a.m. at the 2 a.m.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone want to share to support Katrina before we move on?
We've
We
had a
just
long.
we're holding space for you and wishing your kitty a beautiful ascent.
Thank you.
You know we're here for you.
I
Mhm.
do. And I
All right.
appreciate it.
It's a difficult decision when you love something, but it's a decision that you know is right.
Yeah, it's worse because she's a young dog as well. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. As much as you don't want to, but you have seen all the signs so far. So it's not easy to get to that step, but it's
No.
necessary. Okay, so take your time, Katrina. Okay, so we probably get starting for our call today. So first of
Yes.
all, let's share our intention. The link is in the chat. But Katrina, take your time, okay? If you are not up to it, it's okay to sit here with us and we hold space for you. So share our intention for the week, ladies, and let's see what Christine has got for us. Are we recording? Yes, good. All right, so let's get started to share our intention. And what have we got from Christine? Yes, I think. Oh, yep. So have you closed your house already, Christine? Like, yes, or
Supposed to be Tuesday. So
Yeah.
fingers
Well
crossed,
done.
because the appraisal came in $25,000 lower. And so the lender changed all the terms. I mean, I was gonna have to come up with all this extra money down and I'm like, no. I know I'm not an appraiser, but I'm not that far off.
Mm,
And so I appealed it and it got turned down. And I'm like, I want to see your appraisal, because I know all I got to see was the actual value
Amount.
we came up with. So they sent it to me. And I had made a mistake as well. Somehow, don't ask me how this happened, because I had my spreadsheet where I did the comps and then I had updated it as like new houses were being sold. And even though I would save it every time, somehow it attached an older version.
mm,
And it had 2 houses on it that I had already taken off and didn't have the newer houses on it. So they're like, well, we rejected yours because these 2 houses, and I'm like, that's how I knew I made a mistake, because I'm like, I already took those houses off. So I sent them the real updated one. After I added one of his, so he had several houses on there, but all of my houses were within the last 3 months.
mm,
2 of his houses were from September and August of last year. Another one was from February of this year. Okay, 6 months-ish, but it was over a highway in a completely different neighborhood.
mm,
And then he had 2 houses that I used. And then he had one more that was very recent that I didn't put on there. So I'm like, all right, if you're going to use this one, even though mine has this full basement area and a garage, and this one has no basement, no carport, no garage, you put it in there anyway. Okay, I'll add it in. And so by adding in this one extra house that he had that I didn't, that fit all kind of the other criteria, it actually upped my average to 431. I had 425 and it upped it to 431. So, and then I even had my realtor send his comparative market analysis using his adjustments. Another thing he did not do was account for the fact that I am going to be finishing over 300 square feet of the basement. So he was not counting that as finished space and was basing it off of just the main floor,
mm.
which
Okay.
was going to be a significant difference. So they're like, well, give us another 2 business days and are you flexible on your closing date? I'm like, no. And so as I got a hold of the initial person that contacted me from this lender, and I'm telling him what happened with the appraisal, he's like, this is ridiculous. You shouldn't have to be finding the comps. That's what we pay him for, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. He should know how to do an analysis. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed, they approve it tomorrow and the terms go back to the way they were, so I can close properly on Tuesday.
Mm,
My fingers crossed.
yep. What lesson could you have learned from this experience?
Well, I had asked my realtor to send his CMA along the first time when I sent in the first time, and he's like, oh no, let's not do that. Let's wait. I'm not waiting next time.
Mm, absolutely.
And these folks, so we only had 3 weeks from the time my offer was approved to the closing date. And these guys didn't send out And actually the guy they sent out wasn't even the appraiser. It was just some guy they hired to take interior pictures. Because he didn't even have access to the MLS to do the comps. He didn't even have access to the MLS to get the code to open the lockbox.
Okay. So did they get,
So-
can you find them? Is there something that you can do to highlight your issue and your concerns?
Say that again?
Is there a body that you can contact to say this needs to be highlighted and raise your concerns, put in a complaint after this is done? Because if it's happened to you, it'll happen to someone else.
Possibly, but it's not like this is a real I mean, this is a hard money lender.
Okay.
You know, the only thing that I have brought it to the attention of the people that work there and why his appraisal is screwed up. So, you know, maybe they just decided they don't use him again because they're trusting that this guy knows what he's doing. He's an appraiser. Right. And I could tell Alyssa, I'm just saying these things and you're just shaking your head like, yes, you know, that's not the way to do an appraisal.
I go to classes, and we went to an appraisal class, and the one thing he said that like was the biggest thing was go out before you go back. Like you would never, ever use a comp for more than even 6 months is pushing it.
Right. And so it kind of depends on your market and what's being sold there, because sometimes you just have to, but I'm in a market where, like I said,
Right.
mine were all within 3 months.
Yeah.
And if mine were in 0.6 miles, right? That was my furthest one out. If I had gone now, you guys don't know my Ardmore, which is this desirable neighborhood, is pretty large. And, you know, as the crow flies, it wouldn't be a mile, but because you got to take the roads to get there, it makes it over a mile. There was a house I could have used that was over 500,000 that sold. But
Yeah.
I didn't.
So
I thought I was being super conservative, and this guy was
So-
just being an idiot.
Can I question? Do you have a little checklist that you go through before you do all this? Like get this, get this, get this, get this. Make sure you check the spreadsheet and all the information. It's not a big checklist. It's just for you.
As far as making the analysis,
Well, not just making the analysis.
Everything.
you do should have. Every time I do
Well,
something, every time I submit something, I have my checklist that says, yes, I've gone through this, it's been inspected, this is what I've got to do, this is how many
okay, so
cameras.
sort of, yes, but it's a lot of it's out of my control because I'm not the hard money lender. So they open up like this portal for you, and there's this documentation and this, you know, you have to get your insurance and you have to have proof of funds and you have to have this. So yeah, there's this list in there and they have a deadline date of when it all has to be due by. But I don't have control over when they send out the appraiser. I don't have control over what he says, but except to say, I don't agree with you and I'm opening an appeal and here's my evidence as to why you're messed up.
Yep.
Okay.
So there are different checklists, but from your end
So-
is to make sure to check the how old is the document or the appraisal and things like that. So next time you don't have to find that if anything come back with lower than your, you know.
Well, what I need to make sure of is that they send that appraiser out toot sweet. Because we had this 3-week span and they didn't send the guy until last week to take the pictures.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
don't want to work with that lender again either.
No, I won't be, because now I actually have, through this other group that I'm working with, the guy that kind of runs the whole group has partnered up with this other, and we have like an affiliate link and we can run our own deals through it for all kinds of loans. So I'm going to go through that next time.
Beautiful.
But it's like I had the hard money lender for the main part of the loan, and then I got a private money lender to fill in the gaps. But then when they changed all the terms, first it was, oh, you don't qualify experience wise, which I kept telling them I didn't do an actual flip or burn the last 3 years. They were 2 renovation projects, but they didn't qualify as those things. But the guy kept saying, oh, well, we'll just put it in there as it does, or I'll try to put in an exception for you. Well, of course, the exception did not go through. So it bumped me to another loan program. So I had to come up with another $5,000. I'm like, okay, I can come up with $5,000. But then with this appraisal, then it went to $12,000. And I'm like, because I already had my private lender. She's already done all her stuff. She's already sent the promissory note and the deed and everything to the closing attorney. And I'm like, I'm not going to ask her to redo any of that.
Yeah. Okay. But Christine, your persistence will pay off. Because if anything could go wrong, no, have faith. Like, we're here to say, okay, that's something that we could learn. And what will be the next one that we need to watch out for? But we might have to move on because of the timing, because I don't want others. Okay. But we also want to think about, keep you in our space when you're getting mom ready for the facility. So how's that arena going?
I have to get her a chest x-ray to prove that she doesn't have tuberculosis and
Yeah.
and then make some other arrangements as far as moving her furniture and whatnot.
Yep.
But it's going to be nearly $8,000 a month. So the flip really has to work.
Yeah. But the 8,000 is covered some by the
Yeah. So she gets like $1,600 a month from her Social Security, $1,700 from the payments on her house, and she will get about $1,400 from the VA, but that's going to take several months to kick in.
Okay.
And so you'll be supplying the balance.
Well, not me. Well, not right away. Anyway, I mean, mom's got some money,
That's
Yeah.
but it'll only last maybe a year or two at that rate.
Oh, you'll be all right.
You'll be in
because
different space.
You're already
Yeah.
kicking goals, babe.
Yeah. Don't think about what if in 2 years' time, is what's now.
Mhm.
Okay. And again, it's like, how can this turn out far greater than I could imagine? How could this turn out in every single situation for all of us? All right, we might have to move on now. Anna, where are you? Thanks, Christine. We're all excited for you. There were a few other ladies. Where is Anna this week?
Oh, a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. A lot of things I have to finalize. A lot of things that I have to do to make sure things are humming.
Mm,
Yeah.
good on you. We're also holding space for you, darling. There's so
Thank
much
you.
going on. And darling Helen, would you like to share?
Yeah, I gonna try. I've only got $400 left of one of my lay-bys, so I'm slowly paying that off.
Well done, darling.
Yeah, and so that's the last debt that I've got. Oh no, except for the water, but that's all right. I've got that under control because that comes out on the 20th. But yeah, and the rest of it, and I'm just getting regular work, which is really good. So that helps towards paying that debt off. So that's really good.
Fantastic, honey.
Good. Beautiful, Helen. Keep up with it, but make sure you do self-care with the midst of everything. Tamara, you go, girl.
I'm getting there slowly but surely. This week I just want to try and finalize my tax and get that sorted and get my BAS statement done.
Yep.
I want to work on bringing in more regular client work.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got it up to 6 regularly. I want to get it up to 10 now. Get that going. And just, work on doing my journaling a bit more, work on doing my drawings a bit more.
Okay, good.
Just get a bit more creative, give myself that space.
But remember our conversation, your new clients, either new price tag or new currency.
Yes.
I'm checking on you end of this week. But in terms of holding space for you, what particular area you would like us to hold space for you this week?
Still around my separation. It's still, it's escalating at the moment. So let's hope it comes to a close very quickly. I got served with court papers at the end of last week. So yeah, going through that process and doing that. So yeah, it's just a matter now of going through his statement and what he said and trying to, you know, work against the lies that he's put in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
We're here
work
for
on
you,
that.
darling.
Thank you. But I'll get there. I'll get there.
You
I
will.
always do.
You will. Good. Alicia, what's a up next account?
Well, I don't entirely know yet. But he's not my broker anymore since the merge, but my team leader told us about it. It's basically the way it sounds is kind of like a dating profile, but for people to find agents.
Good.
So I'm gonna focus on getting that at least started, because I'm also got permission to put a sign up in one of my clients' and vacant lots, kind of like a billboard. And then I consulted Brian about it, and he said before doing that, we have a new, the whole system is new. I can't remember what we're calling it, but it's like where you can track it's like a CRM, client resource management, and then also it does landing pages, squeeze pages, funnels, drip campaigns, set up a squeeze page attached to the billboard so that people can scan either QR code or look up the site, and then I can get a lead through there and through phone calls.
Okay.
So I really want to prioritize that and get that done, because I'm just tired of doing open houses, and I'm gonna still do open houses, but I need a different.
You need different lead gen. Okay. Would you mind to check up how much will cost you to do the squeeze page and the Upless account? Because sounds like all this could be streamlined instead of going to using different like CRM, different funnel, different pages and things like that. Come back to Anna and I, then we might actually be, you still haven't done your website. Sometimes we can do that in one streamline under your website with different links, even with your,
Well, I do have a website.
Okay, good.
My brokerage, and the KV Core is a program that I get included in my brokerage fee.
Okay. All right. So list all those, and Anna and I will look it up for you, because sometimes in the long run is maybe ideally for you to have your own website. So when you leave, if you happen to be growing so fast, so all your data would not belongs to your current brokerage. But it's just an example, but this is a long conversation. Okay.
Right.
Yes, there's a lot of things would happen differently.
Protect your
yourself.
IP. Protect your IP, which is protecting your information and your data, honey. Because you're putting everything into theirs.
Yeah.
Now, you bought a share in the company, so you do want it to grow. But if something goes wrong and you want to part, that information stays with them.
No, I mean, I guess it stays with them, but I don't forfeit my clients or anything.
No, look, it's just
it's complicated. We'll need to sit down and look at your setup first. Okay. Our aim, Anna and I, is to protect you, okay? But it's not like don't go with your brokerage. It's complicated. Christine knows where we're coming from. She's smiling.
I know, and I know what you're saying, but I also, there's no way I could have any system nearly as complex and sophisticated as theirs.
We hear you. But before you set up everything, we would like to help you to look at how to protect yourself. That's the first things foremost when you first started.
Set up your
Yes.
backup.
Yeah.
Alyssa, set up your backup
Yeah.
when you're starting to use their system.
Yeah.
To have something that's mirroring the information of your clients on their database. Yours can be
Yeah.
quite simple.
Yeah.
Well, I can talk to you about that. It's simplistic. I don't do difficult.
Yeah, no, we want to look at streamline because even for myself, 10 years ago, trying to migrate my client database from one software to the next, it was painful, and they hold me ransom as well. So that's the mistake that I don't want any one of you to have. It is painful. They could be appealed very nicely. So of course we'll do everything for you, isn't it, Christine? The lender said, of course we'll look after you. All right. So it's not a bad thing, Alicia, but it's like now you have us that, as I say, Anna and I have over 60 years of business experience. So we are using another 2 pair of eyes to help you to look at it. It's not, don't go ahead, but before you settle everything, let us see what it is. And they might be very good. And I said, oh, gee, they are very good. They sounds like could be trusted. But what more could it be for you to have someone, 2 other pair of eyes at least to look at your system for you? Okay. But it's exciting. You're going to, yeah, girl, you're going to go over your budget this year. Katrina, would you like to share, or you are happy to listen in?
This week, I just want to get through this week, but I do also need to focus on my BAS, my PAYG with it all, because that needs to be finalized this week as well. But this week's just getting through this week.
Yeah, yeah, we feel you. We feel you.
Basically, that's a win. It all.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Anyone have a word to share with Katrina?
I had to put my cat down, not for the same reasons, obviously, but having to make that decision is just one of the hardest ever. So we feel for you.
yeah, thank you. Because any other time I've needed to make an end of life decision, it's been quite easy because the animal's been unwell and it's towards the end of their life and you know it's the right time. They tell you this. I've never needed to do it to physically a healthy animal, but as Anna and Tamara, I took photos and sent them through to Anna and Tamara, and I trust them because I'm too close emotionally. And as they said, something just isn't right with her. And that's what Adrian said himself. He said, something's gone wrong in her head.
Yeah.
1%. Yeah, well done.
I was just going to say, just because it's not a physical issue that you can see, and it's a mental and emotional issue that the dog has,
Okay, so
it's still, one of
Well,
those
we
decisions that you need.
we
Nope,
spoke about
okay.
this. We spoke about this. 1% of animal dogs are not wired properly. It's like they've gone back to before they were domesticated. Okay, I'll just use that. It's much easier. It's more complex than that, but the wiring isn't there. So what you perceive to be, oh, normal puppy, changes because he's going back to his basic instinct. Yeah, so when they're domesticated, they don't go back to their basic instinct. They've got a fridge. They've got food happening. Totally different, honey.
With it all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But know that she's with you, and so are your chickens. Because I saw her walking past the cat up that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, virtual heart.
Thank you.
I'm sure you can feel it, Katrina.
I do. Thank you. And thank you for not judging, because some people go, oh, she's only young and she's beautiful and so on. And for
No.
the first time in my life, I am actually frightened of her if she snaps at me.
Yeah.
I hope she
Mm.
doesn't, and I don't believe she will, but what if?
What if? Yeah.
There is that possibility because, as you said, she grew up with the cat,
Mm.
and the cat's been there as long as she's been there.
Needs to get
Mm.
on. And I mean, she's the type, she lays at my feet and she sits near me, and
Yeah. We know Katrina when we saw the message. So
Mm.
it's no judging, it's entirely your call. Okay.
Right,
But
they
for
have a
most, we all want you to be safe. That's really on our fault.
Do you know, Katrina, they are not wearing your shoes.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, they're not wearing your shoes. And they're in your place. What would they have done?
Mm.
Okay. So you're going to get people like that, just like you do when you've got children. You've lost a child. You've had to have an abortion. Right. That's a decision that's heartfelt, just as it is with your puppy. Okay. You're going to have idiots out there who have no concept or understanding of what you have to do.
Yeah. That's why we have a container here that we hold space for one another and we respect. That's the minimum to respect your choices. Okay. Is Len be there? Len is there with you as well?
Nan's here, yes.
Good. So you won't be
How
alone.
long is she staying for?
She's here until the 9th of September.
Okay.
Someone to pamper you.
Give you lots of loves.
Yes.
Good. All right. Okay. Anything else, Katrina?
No, that's it for this. As I said, get through this week.
Yes.
Doing okay. Just focus on work so that I can get through
Yeah.
work, basically.
Yeah.
That's a key focus.
Yeah. That's great. That could take your mind off sometimes. Okay. All right, then let's move on. So who's here know which pillar we are focusing on this month?
Rapport.
Or rain.
It's like Christine's like 3 pillar. Good on you. Remember this 3 pillar, not 5. The 3rd pillar, we finished the rapport on soulmate. So the 3rd pillar, rain. Okay. So we'll be looking at something different. So to make it more simplistic in a way, that rain is more about your vision in terms of the world creation, your creativities, as well as your contribution. So what is your entire vision when you are going to focus on reigning on your own dominion in your own area of your business and your creativities to help you to expand your business, as well as contributing not just to your own family about your legacy, but to the society, to the environment, or even for us actually is the whole of the universe of your contribution. I would say a whole bunch of questions to you guys, but what or which question you resonated the most is, that's the one that I'm going to focus on this month. That's the one that about my business that I'm going to start. Anyone would like to start with first? Helen, we're going to help you with this part as well, because I'm going to pay you soon. I'm just waiting for 2 more people to make their payment.
I'm waiting for the invoice.
I got the payment, Alicia.
Okay.
Yes, I know, because someone didn't give me the ABN. While I was doing it. Yeah. Okay. Now, I have asked a lot of questions, but let's start with something simple. What are your vision? What do you see yourself becoming? That's why I always say, have this big picture instead of just this is what I'm going to do this week. I want to bring 2,000 in, and then you don't know what next week will be like. But what is this big picture you see around your wealth creation? And then we can funnel down to your creativities as well, because without money, like Christine said, my plan is I need to teach 2 more years before I totally could be like the full-time real estate investor. Okay. Then it's like my contribution is not just funding my mom's retirement, but like she has 2 grandchildren. She has, this vision to teach others, set other women free as well. Because Tamara will be telling you like, I couldn't believe it after 30 years. I'm not saying like, it's the scarcity, but like the mindset is I walk away with minimum super. I walk away with nothing, because a lot of women would have gone through what she has going through right now. So is this an example? So what are your visions, or one of your visions that you could make it solidify, make it solid, that you will have this picture that you are going through to reach that, not destination, the horizon? So what would that be?
Catherine, you gave him mine, so somebody else is next.
So who's next? What is it right now? What's your visions? For example, in the late 1990s, I already shared with my fellow psychologists, or almost graduate qualified as a psychologist, say, let's work together. Let's have a team that we can build. And what happened? Those fellow people say, that's a great idea, Catherine, but why not you go and build your dreams? And when you're successful, we'll come and join you. I thought if I was successful already, I wouldn't have to go and prepare this proposal for you guys. Can you see this? It's a great idea. People can see it, but they didn't believe in me.
They don't want to take the risk. They just want to just go along and have things easy.
Yeah. Or even people could catch my vision. They want to join my team, but then it's like, oh, but at the same time, I want to build my brand. I said, you will be building your brand, but you need to build your authority under my umbrella. There's a lot of people have different ideas about learning from me. Okay. But now what happened? I told Anna, probably Anna will be the very first person I share that. I want to see that's a retreat for women. I want to see that we have a tribe for women that we could come in as ourselves. And she caught that vision. And what's happening right now? We all, most of us, have had that vision for a very long time. And now we're working towards that. None of you will say, Catherine, when you have the money to buy that piece of land, then I'll join you. No one has said to me, that's not going to work. But you all believe in the shared vision that we have.
Yep, absolutely.
But in that big picture, we all have our own area to work on. Because Katrina and I were sitting there, it's like, sorry, back in Bali. Because Helen always told me that's dragons. I thought, yeah, I know I don't only have 1 dragon. Katrina said, I said, that's 7 dragons. Katrina said, that's 7. Number 7 came. I said, 7 dragons. Yeah, but what's the 7 dragon represent? The 7 dragons represent, I love Harry Potter. So I'll probably think, 7 houses. Can you see that? We all have our own houses. The little wizard will be having so much fun. And I actually can see that myself as well. Who can catch that vision about what I have been,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what Tamara has, I see my being a teacher, leader, and healer in a group retreat, having my own oracle cards and become known for my healing and intuition ability. Of course. And of course, the sex therapists around the world that would be highly sought after speaking on stage, and it's no longer to be taboo about
Absolutely.
enjoying sex is one of the most wonderful creation.
enjoying it, understanding there's different ways to live in life and do relationships and be who we are. You know, expand that knowledge.
Okay. So Tamara, this
One
is your
step further, no one and not be branded for that or be at risk.
Mm, exactly. Yeah. So write this down, Tamara, in your journal and start putting them into action.
Mhm.
All right. Who else? Who else would like to share? What's in your heart?
For me, it's always been I want to set up a healing circle for initially for women who've experienced trauma to be able to heal without having to talk. And I'm in the process of doing that because there's a Seeds of Change grant that's coming up in November, and I want to bring an art therapist together and find a space so that there can be music playing in the background and they can just do their own thing. But it's just to stop people going into the emergency rooms and then just being put on drugs and stuff just because they can't deal with their emotions. Because what often happens is we have things open during school holidays, but when it's not closed during school holidays, but not open. And, you know, sometimes you just need somewhere to go on a regular basis, and we don't. I want to make sure that changes.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually dream of having a center right in the middle of Burke Street and Swanson Street. That's on the corner. I have a very specific corner that someone will give us an office over there. Okay. Helen, that has been part of my vision for a very long time.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. And what Anna has got, well, I'll get you to share instead of me reading. Unmute yourself, darling.
I'm doing it. See myself as an arbitrator, person who connects with the channeling of energies and channeling my own energy through to help other sisters' energies. And, you know, building our world, our blueprints, which we've done, and creating that love, through love, creating this world. And what this world needs is the healing. Just needs the healing. What am I really skilled at? There's a lot of the diverse skills in the corporate arena. But what I need to do is let my power loose.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting. The healing is not just for human being, but our planet.
It's for every living thing, every living being, every living plant, everything.
Yeah. And as I said, Anna, this is interesting. As a connector, remember I went to the event last week that this is a very different to BNI. Alicia, I'm checking for you whether they have a chapter in Las Vegas that they talk about, is it ESG? The environmental factor and sustainabilities, and they use a lot of acronyms, so which I'm learning. But a lot of them are talking about renewable energy, recycling plastic into different energy. That they're talking about what's your vision, we will support you. Well, it's not just physical or verbal, but Gary, who is the person who leading the group, he say, we have people from Vietnam, a lot of them are investor. So I thought, like, oh, nice. So the door being open, not just me going trace up about the ketchup and coffee. People actually been texting me, say, let me to get to know you, which is a really good thing. Yeah. All right. Okay, Alicia, what's yours? The Whisperer.
Working with plants and inspiring people to grow a connection with them. I'm sure that will grow legs over time. because I'm not 100% sure how that'll manifest yet.
Mm,
But I'm just, giving my little plant propagations away. I've got 3 more people in line.
That's good.
And yeah, and I'll share that another time. And then hosting people at my bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
And just providing a very wholesome experience.
yeah.
Just
So,
side note, when I was a kayak guide in my early 20s, which I don't ever want to be
Ooh.
again, but I remember we had this really high-end tour group that would come throughout the summer, and a lot of them just had no connection to nature. Like they just live in a concrete city, and they would share like, wow, I don't get to see this very often. And it was just so beautiful to reconnect them to our world. And then build a team of real estate women around the world with this EXP opportunity that I have now.
exactly. Could anyone see everything that she wanting to do is part of our blueprint as well? It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
yes,
great.
because the 7 houses, you will have your own dominion that you will rule over it. But we all come in as the council to share and guide other women. Because we could not be alone. No one is called to be alone. It took perhaps few of us a couple of decades to find our tribe, but we don't want anyone like yourself, Alicia, to be out there trying to figure out how. When I run my own psychology practice, then got upstairs telling me where to go. But otherwise, I would say I fumble around my business. If I had what I'm having right now, I'm sure I will be at a different place, but I'm not sure about that because my calling is totally different. But yet, with guidance, it will save us a lot of time and heartache. Okay. Katrina, is there something you'd like to share, or you're happy to listen in?
I'm happy to listen in today.
Sure, because we know your blueprint. Yeah, for those who are looking at the draft, please return to Anna, and we would like to get that moving forward as well. Okay, so it is 6:59. Oh, who need to go? Oh, Christine, you need to go?
Christine,
Yeah. Your homework
ready.
is please start working on this of your vision, and then we'll hold each other accountable. So when come Thursday, I'll get you guys to write, yeah, go. We understand that it's your dinner time. So, but like Thursday, Australian Thursday, that you guys will say, hey, I have written up a little bit more formally, and then we can share that in the group. So we catch one up with one another. All right, Christine, have a great time with mom. Very proud of you, where you're heading. Okay, now, anyone have any question for the week that we could support you, or nothing? 3, 2, 1, be confident. You.